Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, happy Super Bowl day. I hope you guys are doing well and ready for the upcoming trading week. This is going to be a jam-packed session here, so I hope you guys are ready. I know some of you might be busy today watching Super Bowl, but we still have to focus on what we have to do, right? Let me know where you're tuning in from today. So my name is Richard J, and I'm the head trader here at Trading Rich. And I'm happy to present to you my game plan on how I plan to make money this week. So I hope you guys are ready to learn and ready to take some good notes here. So we'll get started shortly here. Just waiting for a few folks to join, and then we can get started here. Just check something here. So let me know where you're tuning in from today. Which city, which country you're tuning in from today. So I can say hi to you. Okay. So let's look at the week performance. So let me know which city, which town, which country you're tuning in from, where you're piping in from today. We shall get started shortly. We just waiting for a few folks to join. I know folks are busy with Super Bowl today, but we'll get it done ASAP here. All right. So the market was, we had a pendulum swing in the market last week. We got, initially, we started with, from Tuesday to Thursday, we had a sell-off in the market. And then on Friday, the bull stepped in, the buyer stepped in to buy the dip and pushed it up. So it looks like the futures market is up, and it looks like we are going to continue pushing up tomorrow. We shall see, because it could also be a bull trap. So coming into the market today, this week, I am neutral to bullish, like depending on how things work out. If the gap up holds, then I'm definitely going to be bullish, and we are going to see if we can get things to go to all-time highs, especially the S&P 500 and also the Russell, right? But so far, this is what we have here. So this is the 1 week performance of the key stocks. So these are the technology stocks. We saw Nvidia close the week about 3% down. We saw Apple do very well last week, even though it pulled back on Friday. It still closed the week on a strong note. Amazon was in the selling end because their earnings came in. They missed on selling criteria in the earnings, and the guidance was not strong. And also, they pledged to spend $200 billion on, capex expenditure, mainly on AI, and investors did not like that, so it caused the stock to sell off. Google also had earnings as well. That one did not do much. It also sold off as well. And then here we have Meta. So if you look at the cross-board, you can see that technology is still struggling, and that is why we see the Nasdaq still struggling there. It's not that much. It's not retested all-time high since October, and it's a struggle since then. Since that time, we've had S&P hit all-time highs several times. We've had the even the Russell that has the small cap stocks, that a whole bunch of junk companies there. The Russell is even getting to all-time highs, and QQQ still can't make it to all-time highs because some of the leaders in the AI trade are struggling, right? Even Palantir sold off post earnings. So we have a lot of things going on in the tech sector. So if this week we see the AI leaders wake up, then that's going to benefit the Nasdaq, and I'm going to break that down in tonight's live stream. So yeah, so I'll go here. We are going to look at the economic calendar to see what is going on, what we are expecting this week. So on Monday we don't have much. Most of it is Fed leaders speaking. Atlanta Fed president speaking at 10:50. So these ones, they are not going to move the market that much unless they start giving some sound bites about interest rate cuts or things to do with they not cutting interest rate. Then that's what's going to move the market. But I don't think Monday is going to be a big deal. Tuesday we have imports prices and we have retail sales that might move the market in one way or the other. But the most important data of the week is going to come when we get the Thursday one. I mean, the unemployment rate, the employment rate and stuff, that's also going to be a key one. But what the market is hugely anticipating is the jobless claims, right? The last time we got the numbers tick up, and this time around the median forecast is 222,000. So and then we also have consumer price index like CPI as well. So that's something that I believe that CPI is going to come in high this time because we are seeing oil prices go up. So the main components of CPI calculation is usually things to do with like food and what's it called, energy, right? So if energy is up, then I think it's going to increase the CPI to go up a bit. So you see here they are forecasting 2.5. So if this comes up, let's say it goes back to 2.7, that's going to be hot, and the market can get it could be a positive reaction for the market because that will mean that there's going to be pressure on the Fed to cut interest rates in the next meeting, but we shall see. But if inflation starts ticking up, that's going to be a problem for the markets. Also, earlier in the there's something here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see here. Something to do with jobs data. Let's see. I've written it down, but I can't seem to find it. But yeah, jobs numbers look like it's really so the jobs numbers, apart from AI, the job numbers in the US look a little bit weak. Like the regular Joe is not seeing the impact of the economy. So I believe that the US economy is not out of the woods yet. I think the US economy will surely get into a recession this year. And the signs are there, the cracks are there, but we shall see how that plays out. That should come sometime like later in the year because these macro things take a while to play out. So it might take a while for us to see that those things happen. But again, the jobless claims is going to signal that. So far, these numbers are not bad. Once we start seeing 250,000, 300,000, then those are recession level numbers, and that's going to cause a reaction in the market. Okay, all right. So now let's look at the what else is coming up in terms of how the market is right now. So we have a number of so let's go to the ETFs. So we see here we have the SPY. So the SPY is, take off the lines. So the SPY has made all-time highs several times since October. And we came all the way down here to the 100 SMA. So again, this is why I like technical analysis, right? Because it gives you, so you can use historical data to predict what's going to happen in the future, right? So if you can look at this closely, you can see that in November, price in the S&P 500 or the SPY ETF came to the 100 SMA. 100 SMA is this white line, right? And what do we get from there? We got a bounce, right? And guess what? What happened again here? On Friday, price came here and then we got a bounce. Okay. So again, this is called pattern recognition, right? Technical analysis is mainly pattern recognition. So using data, past data, to predict the future, right? And there are certain patterns that can form, and you can use that to make a reasonable judgment on where price is going, right? So the key, so now we've seen that the key line in the sand is going to be the 100 SMA. It's going to be a battleground, right? So let's go and analyze it. Let me go to a different board here. Let's go and analyze this here and see how many times this has come to the white line and bounce here. The first one was here. No, that's the first one. The first one was over here. You see this was was December, see May? That's May, yeah. May 12th. And then we got another one here. We got another one here on May 23rd. And we got another one here on this date. This was in November, right? And then this is the other one that we got. So we've touched this how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the fifth time is going to be, so once you test the support level several times, it makes it weak. So if you have this, if you have something that is a support, so it goes up, comes down like this, goes up, come down, goes up, come down, right? After some time, it weakens it, okay? After some time, it weakens it. So the next time we come down there, surely price is going to break it and go down. So here, let's say the level, let's change the color to yellow. So this goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The next time, so right now we are here like this. Next time it comes in, it's going to break it, right? That's how this works in technical analysis, right? So here, the fifth time, we are going to get like about 70% probability that we are going to break it. And then once we break it, the next logical level, like main target, is going to be to the 200. Then after the 200, we are going to come somewhere here, right? So this is very important. So for now, for this week, we have this big candle here that rose up and is traded. It bounced here, which was a predictable trade. It bounced here. And then now, where is it now? It's over here, okay? So what we are seeing here is that if tomorrow, like so far, the futures market is up. Let me check again. The last time I checked, it was up by 17 points in the ES futures. Let's see if it's still up, because the futures market can fluctuate, can go up and down. So depending on where it is, we will know where, okay, it's a little bit down. Futures market is just up by 12 points, right? So 1250, so let's say 13 points. So with the 13 points, this will be trading somewhere, let's approximate it to 2 points. So this will be trading somewhere here tomorrow, in between these two lines. And depending on how things work out, it might push, and we can push to all-time highs. But I don't think that it's going to be just easy to get to all-time highs here, because there's a lot of levels to deal with. So here we have this April trend line. This is no longer going to be relevant now. What we are going to look at is that this mini trend line, right? So if price, so you see that price came here, it touched it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, okay? If price is able to gap up above this 692 tomorrow, then it's going to be a clean shot, a long trade to the upside, and we can get to the all-time highs, okay? So that's a possibility. We shall see how that works out tomorrow. We could get like a very long candle, or we can have a green consolidation day, and then you can try again later. But so the trade is going to be above this mini trend line, this orange one. We are going to look for longs, buy call options, trade it to the upside, targeting these levels to the upside, right? Below this orange line is going to be a put trade to the downside, targeting the nearest moving averages, and possibly it can bring us back here to the 50 SMA, or to this critical level, right? It can bring us to here, the 50 SMA to 686. So that's how the game plan is going to look like. Okay, so that's with the SPY. Then I go to the QQQ. So the QQQ has been struggling big time. It's been struggling, right? So if we look at the QQQ has been hanging on to this upsloping trend line, which is the orange line. So 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, 4, 5, right? So again, as I drew earlier on, the more you touch this, you are weakening this trend line, right? The next time it comes, it's going to break it, and we are going to head here. So if anytime this week, I don't know what's going to trigger it. It could be bad job numbers. It could be something else, or maybe President Trump tweet, something like that. We could see price come all the way here, right? But for now, as long as we are holding this mini trend line, and we can find a way to, QQQ can find a way to trade above this circle. See this area? This is the 100 SMA. Okay, this is the 100 SMA. This white line is the 100 SMA, right? If the QQQ can trade above this 613 or 613.50, then we can push up and try to fight this moving averages congestion. So remember that moving averages serve as support and resistance, right? So each and every single one of these serve as like a resistance level. So it's like a break wall upon break wall and break wall. So typically these moving averages, and you see moving averages congestion, and a stock or ETF is trading below it, it serves an opportunity to short that ticker, right? So we shall see tomorrow. So if tomorrow, after the futures market being up and we are trading below the moving averages congestion, then we'll look to lean short based on this, right? So if you get a pop into the moving averages, price bounces head into them, and then it pulls back, right? We can pull back. So we shall see how that's going to play out. But if for any reason we're able to trade above this moving averages congestion, that is specifically above the 20 SMA here, 620 area, then we have room to push up to this area over here, right? 629, 630. Okay. So if not, then this is going to be trading here, consolidating here for a while before it tries again. Okay. So the Nasdaq is the lagging ETF right now, or lagging index. So once the tech stocks wake up, it's going to help Nasdaq push up. But so far, tech stocks are struggling this year. Investors and the smart money are moving money from tech into stocks listed in the Dow, right? So that's why we're seeing the Dow do very well in the market, right? It's doing very well right now, because we are seeing a lot of investors leaving tech, selling off tech, and then going into the safe havens and trying to see how to capitalize on those, right? So that's technically what is happening right now in the markets. Okay, so yeah, so the QQQ has this work cut out for it. It's not going to be easy, but we shall see how it plays out. Next one is before I go to the DIA, I'll go to IWM. IWM is the Russell, right? It's very strange to see that the Russell is doing well and the Nasdaq is underperforming. Like, it's really strange, but that's the market we are in. So as a technician, you always look at how the market is going, how the smart money are moving their money, because liquidity or money moves the market, money flow, right? So if money is not flowing into an index or a sector, you should be looking at the sectors where the money is flowing so that you trade with those sectors and make your money. That's it, right? So here, I like this setup, right? By the way, full disclosure, in the swing trading service, we already have a long trade on this, and it's already green, and we are looking for target all-time highs here in IWM. So I believe that IWM can easily get to all-time highs this week. If the market is strong, it can push to all-time highs. So these are profit targets. So tomorrow, if we can trade above 265.72, then we are going to look for call options to the upside and target these profit targets, right? And if the market is weak, we can come down. This can come down here and come and retest this trend line here, and then possibly go back up, right? That's what is going to happen. But this looks pretty strong here to go. So if the IWM is doing well, then small caps are going to do well. So I have some small caps here on my list that I'm going to talk about, and these ones are primed to take off this week here. So this is going to be an interesting one. So yeah, so we shall see how those stocks play out this week here. Okay, all right. So IWM, is looking bullish, strong, bullish, ready to go. And the next one, which is now the king of the market, is the DIA. So the DIA is, oh man, absolutely fantastic move. If you look at this, the DIA DIA is trading at all-time highs, right? It's trading at all-time highs because most of the stocks in DIA are on fire. Like you have Walmart ripping to the heavens, right? Whilst tech stocks are struggling. So here with DIA, I like this wedge pattern, this upsloping wedge pattern. If price can break above 502, 502, then we are going to push up and we are going to push towards this next trend line. And then once we push, we can push towards the other trend line here. So it's going to be a new all-time highs. So we are going to get into price discovery mode. No man's land. Nobody knows where it's going. So, I mean, DIA still has room to go. And the Nasdaq, the Dow hits 50,000, right? 50,000 mark last week, Friday. And that is a big milestone for the Dow. That was the first time it hit that target. And that's like all-time highs. And so I believe that it's still going to make new all-time highs this week if it can break above this 502 mark resistance, and it can go push up and go. Okay, so that is the DIA, and DIA is really doing well. It can break out and go this week, but alternatively too, we can get a pullback. If it fails to break this, it can pull back then and come and retest this 495 level, and then we see if buyers can step in or come down here, right? So as long as we are trading above this 501, you have to be bullish on the DIA. If we get a pullback, then we are going to be trading within this channel, this rising wedge pattern here. So we can go this way, you can continue trading there like that. And it's going to be in a squeeze zone, just like you have your toothpaste. Squeeze zone, and at some point it's going to decide either to go up or to go down, right? But here it's poised to go. Typically, right, when you get this kind of big candles, right, these are like bullish engulfing candles. Anytime you get this type of bullish engulfing candles, you typically get more follow through to the upside. So I'll not be shocked tomorrow we get a green candle like this, right? A green candle that is trading here, not as large as long as the other one, but something like this trading above here, right? Don't be surprised. I'll not be surprised because let's see if the Dow futures is up. Just one sec here. Let me see the Dow futures is up, right? So Dow futures is up by $97. So surely that means that price is going to open above this tomorrow, right? Above this somewhere here. It might be a gap up, open somewhere here. So if you hope it's there, then what can happen is that this resistance level can turn into support. And then based on that, that support can be an area where price can go and then push up to make new all-time highs and price discovery, because here is no man's land. Nobody knows where it's going. So it can continue up, but the next logical target is going to be the top of this trend line here, because this goes from, look at May 2024, this here, that there, and etc. Right, this one. Okay, so that's DIA. All right, so now that we've gone through the DIAs of this world and then the main indices, let's look at the precious metals, right? We are going to look at the precious metals to see how the precious metals are performing. So 2 weeks ago, we saw a major sell-off in gold and silver, and this week they tried to cool off, like they cooled off a bit, and now we are seeing them push up. Okay, so they are looking to push up. Gold has the best setup so far. Silver is lagging behind a little bit, but we shall see how things work out. So here, if you go to what is it called? If you go to the gold, let's check out gold. So gold is up as well here in the futures market. Gold is up. So spot gold, let me see here. This one is what I'm looking for. So spot gold here is up. As you can see, this is the green candle from today. It's going up so far. This is the weekly candle. So if I go to the daily candle, we can clearly see what went on with gold. So you see that gold, you see the red line? Gold has been hugging this red line for the longest time. Even when it came here, it closed above the red line, which is a 50 SMA on the daily, right? So gold is looking to do like what looks like a rounding bottom here, something like this. And then from there, it's going to go back to all-time highs and then hit this all-time highs over here, this one, right? So once it gets here, it can break out and go kind of thing, right? So gold looks like it's poised for a big move here. And we've seen that now everything moves together with the stock market, right? At first, when the stock market is down, you see gold and silver up. But after gold and silver did that parabolic move and they started behaving like meme stocks, what happened was that now gold and silver are trading like the stock market. So if the stock market is up, gold and silver is going to be up. If they are down, gold and silver are going to be down. So there's no everything now is a risk asset now. They're just trading it based on what is available, right? So here we have gold here. So we shall see how gold behaves tomorrow. If it can break above this mini trend line here, it's going to push up and make this cap here and then go and break out. So gold looks strong, ready to go. And let's look at silver. So silver is trading within this box here. So I told you guys that in the last live stream, I told you guys that was my demand zone for silver, and silver is respecting it so far. Those in our swing trading service, we already have a silver trade that we are trading. We are long silver here. We think that silver is going to continue pushing, so it's going to come somewhere here, at least, right? That's the area where I believe that price can, start like stalling out. So that's area where we definitely take profits. But I believe that if the stock market is strong this week, then definitely gold and silver are also going to benefit. Because right now, they are basically following gold and silver. Okay, right. So gold is good to go. Silver and gold are good to go. Let me remove these drawings. So in terms of prices, right, what I'm looking at here. So in my trade, the trade that we have, this is going to be, this is an area where we are watching. If for any reason price comes and start closing below here, then we'll consider exiting the trade, right? So over here, this area here, I can mark this as a zone that we are watching. So this zone, we must not break this zone, right? If we break that zone, then we will exit the long trade that we have. But if you hold it, then we are going to continue holding and seeing where it takes us to. So where else are we going to get an obstacle or a resistance? This is the place. So over here, this area here. Because you see that last time price came here, what did he do? He hit this and it came down, consolidated, and then before it broke up, right? And then here as well, when price came here at the sell-off from that 2 weeks ago, and the reversal, when he hit this place, what did he do? He pulled back. So this is going to be a critical area. So whoever wins this battle is going to determine where next silver goes. So for instance, if the bulls win the battle, it means that silver will now go. If bulls win, then silver will now go. It's going to be an easy shot to all-time highs, right? Even before it gets to all-time highs, it still needs to contend with this area, which is going to act as resistance as well. Because if you see this, if you look at this area here has served as a resistance zone. See, price came here the last time, it popped, and then it dropped. And then it pushed up. So when we shorted silver in the swing trading service, this was a candle that gave us the signal to short silver, right? And then it went up. It could not close above the stop loss. And then boom, on that Friday, it sold off. And then we made that move to the downside. So this area is going to act as significant resistance before we get to the all-time high. So as a silver trader, this is going to be the critical levels that you have to watch. Obviously, there are other levels, but these are the most important ones that you have to watch to the upside. Once we clear here, if the bulls are able to do it, then bingo, is going to go up and we can get that all-time high hit. However, if it comes here, let's say price comes here, we can get something like the price come here and then start stalling out. Then it means that we are going to get something like a something looking like let me change this color here. Something looking like a head. Can have a left shoulder, then you have your right shoulder here, and then this is going to head back down, right? So if it heads back down and we break below here, where is the next logical target for silver? Next logical target is going to be here, this area here, okay? This area here, which is going to be, this was a breakout zone. This was in November. That's where it broke out. So it's basically going to be a retrace to the scene of the crime, right? So that's how you can use technicals to figure out where is my next target, where do I have to take profit from, what do I need to do, right? That's the key thing. Okay, so now that we've checked gold and silver, let's check Bitcoin. Crypto is now the problem child, right? Crypto is the problem child. Crypto is struggling big time. So with Bitcoin, I already made a video on this. So if you check our YouTube channel here, you check out the shorts. I made a 2 minutes video on Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is going to go if we break below this area, right? So far, Bitcoin is trying to make a comeback here, trying to remount that zone of between 70 to 75,000. If it can go above it, then it can push to like at least 80K or higher, right? But for now, Bitcoin has been decimated and it's looking to get a bounce, okay? It's still hovering around this $70,000 level, and we shall see how far it can go from here. And when you do the log chart, let me just go to a different chart here to make it easy. If you go to, let me take this off, clear all drawings. If you go to the log chart of Bitcoin, I was doing an analysis and I saw that if you do the log chart of Bitcoin, there's an interesting trend line that you see. So I've changed this one to log scale here. Let's reset it. So this is the log scale. So if we change this to log scale, you can clearly see that there's some kind of a trend line going here. Or you can even connect it from, I think this place. Let me see. Let me connect it from here. Let's use this one here. So if you check this log chart, you can see that we have some kind of trend line going up. And then once you check it out, even here, this is a critical area. So if you can remount this, this is going to be gone and we can get that push to the upside. Or if you even go to the monthly, let me see if I can go to the monthly to see if I can get something to work here. Check out the monthly here. Yeah, so here we have, does this go all the way down? Yeah, I think it does. So here, if you have this long-term trend line, so this long-term trend line is from 2014, yeah? So if you check it, you are going to see that Bitcoin came here, bounce, came here, bounce. K-State here was close to this, and then what it is bouncing here. So is this going to be the place where Bitcoin bounces? Who knows, right? So if you extend this as well, you can see that it's also testing this area. So here has been support, right? So if that's the case, then we are going to push up. If not, then Bitcoin is going to sell. Once it breaks below here, it's going to sell, okay? So this is the log chart. The regular chart looks a bit different, right? Regular chart. Go back to the regular chart here, regular, okay? So that's what we're seeing here in Bitcoin. And if you go to the monthly, you see that I came here to the monthly EMA, SMA 50, and it's holding so far. So we shall see if that holds. And here as well is a critical level. So if you look at this, this is the 2021 highs, and we are holding between the 2021 highs. So this zone for Bitcoin must hold, okay? Any type of recovery that Bitcoin has, this zone must hold. If it doesn't hold, then Bitcoin will be in trouble, right? That means that Bitcoin is going to be in trouble. So here we need this, this area to hold. This is the previous all-time highs, and this area was a breakout zone in 2024. So if price holds here, then there's hope that we can get a recovery, some kind of recovery, not to all-time highs, but some kind of recovery, something to this area. and then price can stall out and possibly go down, that kind of thing, right? So this is what you're looking at here. We shall see how things play out with Bitcoin. All right. So like Ethereum, I also did a video on Ethereum as well, and even the one on Bitcoin I talked about the heading to 74,000 or even lower. And so my ultimate target for Bitcoin, when all is said and done, if the stock market corrects, right? If the stock market corrects by 10% or more, I believe then that Bitcoin can go to, it can go to like maybe somewhere here, 35,000. But the ultimate target for me will be 26K. Yeah, 26,000. So if Bitcoin gets to 26,000, definitely I'm going to buy, right? I'm going to buy the dip there. But right now what I'm doing is that I'm nimbling into Bitcoin, nimbling. Not full size, not crazy amount of money, because it could be a fake out as well, right? I don't want to get faked out. So here I'm nimbling in here in this zone, in this demand zone, and my stop loss is below this candle here. This is where my stop loss is. If for any reason this gets wiped out by a daily candle, I'll be out of the trade, right? So here we are trading. We have a swing trade on iBit in the swing trading service, tracking Bitcoin's move. So yeah, so we are green on it. We looking for higher moves. So if this can go to the 80,000 mark this week or sometime later this month, this is going to be a very nice trade for the subscribers and all the everybody that took the iBit trade. Okay, so yeah, so I believe that we are going to get some kind of continuation. It's like a dead cat bounce, but I think we are going to get continuation as long as the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq, you see that Bitcoin is like a leverage ETF over the Nasdaq, and if the Nasdaq is not doing well, I don't think Bitcoin is going to. And Bitcoin, as we can see, has been selling off since October 2025. So it's worse. Like Bitcoin is down from October like more than 50% already. So right now, it's just like in a last chance saloon, like it's going down. But if the Nasdaq starts recovering and does well, get to all-time highs, definitely money is going to flow into Bitcoin to push it up, to prop it up to at least 80,000 or 90-something thousand. Then once it gets there, we can go higher from there. Okay. So once again, if you are new to the channel, I'm just trying to break down Bitcoin. So why the Bitcoin sell-off? So I've been talking about this mother of all trend lines for months here in this YouTube channel, for months. So anybody that's been following our work here, tuning into YouTube, you know that I called the top on Bitcoin in October, saying that until Bitcoin breaks above this mother of all trend lines, which is from 2017 to now, it's about 9-year trend line. If it does not break it, then all those postulations or all those predictions from the crypto gurus that Bitcoin is going to 200,000 and all that stuff, it's not happening until it breaks the mother of all trend lines. So because this mother of all trend lines has been Bitcoin's Achilles heels or arch nemesis, right? It means that if he ever breaks it and gets a clear breakout, we are going to get a massive move. So that's perhaps what is going to send Bitcoin to 150,000, 200,000, 250. But until then, this does not look like a chart that is doing 200,000 like this year or sometime soon, right? Until it breaks this trend line. So why is this trend line significant? Here, this is the highs of 2017. If you connect the highs to the highs of the bull market of 2021, you see that you extend it, it's just an extension of the trend line. It comes to 2025. That is where Bitcoin sold off. And every single time that Bitcoin has encountered this mother of all trend lines, I call it mother of all trend lines because it's a multi-year trend line, right? So any multi-year trend line, I call it the mother of all trend lines, right? We saw one in silver, which was a 45-year trend line, right? We've seen that already. So here, this here is the trend line of Bitcoin. So if you're a Bitcoin investor if you're a Bitcoin trader, you must know this trend line, right? Because this has been the trend line that is always causing Bitcoin to fail, right? So here, the last time we encountered this trend line, it sold up by 83%. Here, it sold up by 83% as well. So most likely, we are going to get something like that in the future, right? So this should bring us to approximately 80%, 78%. That's going to be where the 26,000 comes from, right? And then here we have what looks like a megaphone pattern. So this is a bearish megaphone pattern, and we are almost, if you look at if you take your measurement tool here and you measure the top to the bottom, peak to trough, right? It's 52%. So Bitcoin is in a severe bear market, right? A bear market is defined as 20% or more sell-off from the most recent highs. In this case, is the all-time highs. So Bitcoin has sold off to 53% and is trying to recover. So it has about 30% more to go to hit this target, right? So if we get a move up and it fails, so maybe what I see here happening is that we can do something like this where this goes up and hits this level. Everybody's going to be happy. This is around 110. And then we put in what looks like a head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then what do we do? They start selling and go back down, something like that, right? That is a possibility. Okay, that's a possibility for that to happen. But for now, I think that the short-term bounce, we are going to see Bitcoin go to at least 80,000 in the coming days and weeks. And then from there, we can dream bigger, okay? All right, so that's let's go to Ethereum. So Ethereum as well, I also talked about Ethereum coming down it came all the way down to where? 1,500-ish. Let's see. So this is, take this off here. So it came all the way to where? It came all the way to 1,700. So once again, this double top here, if you're using that as a yardstick, this is 82%, approximately 82%, right? So if the rally recovery fails and it starts selling again, we'll surely come here to 900, right? So Ethereum can go as low as 900. Okay. So again, these are based on technicals, and then once we get a different market structure, then we can think about, okay, now this is looking very bullish, but this chart here is very bearish, right? Any kind of recovery is going to be more like a dead cat bounce until further notice, until we get the clear move to the upside. Okay, so that's for Ethereum. So now let's go to the individual stocks that I have for the week. So this week, as we are going into the week, because of the how we are seeing the sector moves, sector rotation going on, we've seen a stock like Walmart. Walmart hit $1 trillion, right? A stock like Walmart hit $1 trillion. So where is Walmart going? Right? Where is Walmart going? So Walmart has been doing really, really well, right? It's just been ripping, right? It's just been ripping. So I don't like to trade something that is far away. But what I'm looking to do is that I'm going to look to short Walmart at some point if the opportunity presents itself. Okay. So here, similar to what we got in silver, right? Similar to what we got in silver, I'm going to be looking to short Walmart once it triggers. Maybe a pullback in the DIA might signal that. Okay. So what am I looking at? So this is what I'm looking at here with Walmart. So I'm going to mark this here. I'm going to mark these lows, this $18 lows here, $18 lows. And I'm going to mark this area here. So this is the area where the breakout occurred. So I'll just put it here, this area here. This is where Walmart started making this parabolic move. Okay, 50. That was in this was in 2022. Again, 2022 was a bear market, right? Yeah, just a few months of sell-off, and then in November it started pushing up, right? November it started pushing up. So here we see that we have this. So how far is this going to? So I'll take my fib extension tool. I'm going to anchor it here and push this to the 100% range, okay? And I'm going to pull it here to this area. Boom. So we have 100%. So this thing has exceeded the 261% mark, right? And it's still going. So it's in between the 261 and then this 400 level, right? On the fibs, which is, yeah, it looks like halfway through. It looks like it's halfway through. So this area here is going to be like this where we are at right now. So we don't know if it's going to continue going. We shall see this week, right? If this can continue going. But based on the shorting criteria that I use for this is due for a pullback, and the pullback can happen sometime soon. Perhaps a pullback into the 261.8, or you can divide this by 100, 2.618 Fibonacci level, like it's going to act as support, or where the breakout happens somewhere here, and then from there we can start going up and hit the 400 mark, right? So this is what I'm looking at. So here I'm looking at triggers for a short. Another thing that I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at let's look at the volume as well. So this volume here, this volume of Walmart, if you even go back to, I mean, when did this thing go back to a monthly? So this volume of Walmart here has been really, really significant in terms of the weekly, or even here. Look at this. This the whole week. This week here has been one of the longest, like, candles so far, right? And then we have this one here. So Walmart has been going up, and what I'm looking to see is that I want to see if we can get like a top and tail candle sometime soon, either on the daily or the weekly. If you get a top and tail candle, I'm going to look to short Walmart if it triggers, right? I just wanted to illustrate that this is very extended to the upside and is due for a pullback, and perhaps the pullback in the DIA is going to cause it to pull back. Okay. All right. So now let's check out other tickets here. So the first one I'm looking at here is if the IWM breaks out. So we talked about IWM, just a quick recap. If the IWM breaks out here, because it's already started breaking out of this bull flag, if it breaks out of this thing and continues, we get a continuation candle, then this ticker that I'm going to talk about is going to do well because it's listed in the Russell. So here, or the IWM. So here I have GME. So GME is a meme stock, right? But here, this is not long-term investing. We are here to capture a move, capture a trade, make our money, walk away, right? We don't owe any stock any kind of allegiance, right? So we are not holding it long-term. We are here to hold it for temporary basis, just like you are renting, right? If you rent a place, you are renting the place temporarily. Eventually, you are going to move out from there and move to a different location. So that's typically what we do as traders. So here, I'm seeing this here on GME. So GME is one of the tickets that we traded in the swing trading service as well, which was fantastic. So here, this Monday here, this ripped to $25 level, and we're still holding some runners because we think that there's still more upside to this, right? So now, if you look at this from a weekly time frame, you can see that you see this trend line. This trend line is from 2021. Okay, 2021 was when we got that short squeeze in the market that sent this stock to like almost 400. It was at the 2021. Yeah, 2021. We got a lot of spikes in GME. So here, this trend line is from 2021, and it pulls to this area. If this week we're able to crack this trend line, right? We're able to crack this trend line. Specifically, if you can crack this 25.93 weekly level. Then we are going to push to 28, and then we are going to head higher from there, right? So this thing looks like it's getting set to go. My target for this is I'm looking for this to come to all the way to $34 level, or 35. That's a critical area where I believe this is going to really do very well. So if you can push there, then that's going to be a very nice move. So if you can get a candle like this on the weekly, this is a weekly time frame, by the way. If you can get like a weekly green candle, this is going to do fantastically well. So we already have a position in the swing trading service, and we still have runners on it, and there's still more ways to go. And the insiders have been buying GME. So I think something is about to happen. Something big is about to happen. We shall see. Okay, we shall see how that plays out. Okay. All right. So the next ticker that I have is also a small cap stock. It's in the energy space, EOSE. Yeah, this is crazy because this stock, last year we were able to catch the breakout here when this was $7, and it went all the way. It's gone all the way here to what? It went all the way to $20, right? So, with everything selling off, it has pulled back. And I believe that it is time for it to go back up. Once the IWM starts breaking out, this stock is going to break out as well, and is in all this nuclear energy space. I believe that this is going to do well and push. So far, if you look at this, one touch, support, right? So this has room to push up to this area, okay? So if we can clear this moving averages congestion, this can go up and go touch this area here, which is going to be around this, right? $18 level should be fine, or even a little bit lower. So maybe somewhere here, 18. So $18 is a possibility. So I'm going to be watching this closely to see how things work out. If the market is strong, it's going to push this up to that target in the coming days and weeks. All right. So now let me go to the mega cap stocks. Before then, I'll touch on a crypto-related name, Irene. So Irene has been a fan favorite for retail, and I think they had earnings. Earnings was good, but it sold up because crypto, everything was selling up. So Irene doubles between AI and crypto because they have Bitcoin. They have a Bitcoin mining and Ethereum mining, like cryptocurrency mining company, and they also have data centers, right, for the AI companies as well. So they double into both. So over here, we can clearly see that this flag here is holding. So anytime price has come here, we got a bounce. Here, it didn't quite come close to it, but we are here at a double bottom. So we are here at the double bottom, okay? So that's what it is. And I believe that we are going to get that bounce here in the double bottom, okay? So that's what I'm looking at here with Irene. And this buying pressure was good on Friday. So if Irene can hold above $44, it can push up, clear these moving averages, and go up. So Irene, if Bitcoin has to cooperate, crypto has to cooperate. If it's cooperating, then I think this is going to push up, right? I think apart from the great sell-off, like this was doing well until like that sell-off and things. So we shall see how far this is going to go and how good it's going to be in the coming days. Okay. All right. So I like Irene for a long. However, if we lose this 33 level, and also if we take this off, this is close to the 200. So if we break below the 200, then this is going to be a short trade, right? But if he holds this area, we are going to take a long and ride it up to the upside. Next one is now a mega cap stock, right? This is a mega cap stock that I like. I've been talking about it within the community. And as a long-term investor, I like where this stock is trading. And if it gets to a certain level, I've been buying just a few. But if it gets to a certain level, that one, no hesitation. I'm going to buy more and I'm going to load the boat. But for now, I think that it's ready for a bounce. It could be this week because what it had to do in the downside is done, right? In terms of the mission that he wanted to accomplish, mission is accomplished. So it's time for it to go back to where it came from, right? Kind of thing. So yeah, so this thing is going to be going up here. So we have this. James, cancel it. Tell Rodrigo to cancel it. Okay. Yeah. So here we have. So we have this here. Sorry. So we have this here as the. Let's go to Microsoft. Right? So Microsoft is looking good here. Let me clear all these lines and let's analyze it together, right? So Microsoft is doing well. It has held this area here. And if you go to the daily time frame, the reason why I say it's done everything is that it's over here. Let me show you guys something. So over here, you can see that Microsoft, right? Where did Microsoft come from? So Microsoft, again, if you're a technician, you would have seen this coming from far away, right? Why did Microsoft sell off? From a technical standpoint, is because he put in a double top, right? So here, this double top, the first time was, so the double top here happened here in October. So Microsoft, ironically, has been selling off similar to Bitcoin, right? It's been selling off since that time. So we have here a double top here. And since then, Microsoft have been selling off and it just has not stopped, okay? But I think that right now is due for a reversal. Why do I say that the sell-off is enough and its mission accomplished? Is because it has filled this gap, right? There's a gap here that happened. Like the last time they had very good earnings and we got a big gap, it went up, right? You saw that it went up here and it hit this place. So those that have taken our course, there's something called gaps, right? Gaps in technical analysis, right? Anytime there's a gap, the gap fills sometime in the future. Okay, the gap fills sometime in the future. So that is the future that it filled. So here, this you see here, this happened. This big rally happened where from May 2025 to July 2025. And then all the way, it took a long time for it to come and fill the gap. But it's finally filled the gap. So it's time for it to reverse and go back up. Because the gap was one of the key things that it needed to do to get the job done. So now the job is done from a technical standpoint, and it's time for it to go up. So here, I typically mark my gaps with green lines. So here you can see there's a gap here. There's a split. It's a gap, right? And then here, that gap has been filled, and it was filled on Thursday, right? And then Friday, it started bouncing. Correct. So now let's go to the weekly time frame and let's check out something. When we go to the weekly time frame, you can see that Microsoft here, this is 2022. If you draw a simple trend line, right? That trend line connects here. So from 2022, here, this one. So this trend line, let's make it, okay, this orange trend line. So here you see that this trend line has been critical for Microsoft. So here in 2022, it held. That was the low of the bear market lows. 2022 bear market lows for Microsoft, they held as support as well, and support, right? So here, based on what has happened in the past, I believe that it's time for Microsoft to reverse. So I'm going to buy more Microsoft this week. Buy more Microsoft, either by using options or by using shares for long-term hold, right? And also another factor is that Microsoft is here close to the 200-week simple moving average. So if you look at the history of Microsoft, right? Let's take off the lines. If you look at the history of Microsoft, we just do a quick one. Microsoft has mainly not traded below the 200 SMA since a IPO. So I don't think it's going to happen right now. Even in April, when Microsoft sold off and came here, I came out and said that was the best time to buy, right? The late and great investor, Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's right-hand man, right? The two of them were managing Berkshire Hathaway, right? Usually we hear a lot about Warren Buffett, but his right-hand man was this guy, Charlie Munger, right? So Charlie Munger once says that if you want to be successful in investing, right, one of the areas where you should buy stocks for long-term hold is at a 200-week simple moving average. He says that most people will not do that because they don't have the patience. They don't want to wait, right? But if you go back in history and you check all the major sell-offs, if you were to buy at the 200 200-week simple moving average and just buy anytime it comes there, you just buy and forget, you are going to make significant returns in the market, right? At Trading Rich, in our flagship course, we talk about that, right? How to buy stocks on a discount, right? So if Microsoft ever trades below the 200, I know that it's on Black Friday sale. I'll not even think about it. I just go straight and buy, right? So Microsoft is at a place where, so if this trend line does not hold, then it's going to come here to the 200 and we are going to look to buy. So Microsoft is a good one for this week. So this one, I like it for a long-term hold. So you can buy a leap option here and buy time on it, like 6 months out, 1 year out, allow you to play out, or you can play short-term, like in maybe a 1 month out options, and then you can capture the move to the upside. Or if you like the shares, you can buy the shares of Microsoft and hold it, because this is a gift from the market gods. You are not going to get this anytime soon unless we go into a recession and things get crazy, right? So, but here I like Microsoft for a long, and this support level speaks volumes, and that's an area where I'm going to buy. So if you look at other stocks in the past, like Meta platforms, right? If you look at Meta, if you take this off, let's just check it out. So you see here where the 200 is. Meta traded below the 200 in 2022, right? So if you bought here on Meta, you made significant return. So if you look at Meta, this is the lows. This was 88. So here, all this area here, you could have been below the yellow line, which is a 200-week simple moving average. You could have been dollar cost averaging and loading the boat, right? Because anything below here is Black Friday sale. Anything here is a gift, right? And a stock like Meta, you know how big Meta is. You know that whatever happens is going to recover. So this year, if you bought here in this area, anywhere here to this area, that is what 700% return on just the equity. There's no options, there's nothing. This is equity, right? So the 200-week simple moving average is like a gold mine, right? Also, if you look at Apple, other examples, Apple. You see that Apple here. So if you know this trick, if you know this, you can buy things at, especially this is very important when we go into like a bear market and you're trying to figure out where to buy, where to get the best deal, the best discount. You see here. So if you knew about this and you were invested in 2019, right? You could have bought Apple here. So if you bought Apple here at the 200-week simple moving average, look at it. Look at that. 600 and something percent, right? Here. And then here as well, it came back here in, this one, I called this one here in April. I said Apple, just like Microsoft, has never traded below the 200 simple moving average. Is a good time to buy. Boom. Look at that. From here to here is what? 62% just on the equity. If you bought option on this should be hundreds of percent, right? So this is a magical level. This is a deep value zone area where you have to buy with no hesitation, especially if you are dealing with the Magnificent Seven. All the stocks in the Magnificent Seven, anytime they come to the 200-week simple moving average, do not waste time. Go straight and buy. Buy, forget, leave it. It's going to work out, right? Because these companies are not going anywhere. They're very profitable, and those are the companies that are holding this market, right? Okay, all right. So Microsoft is one I'm watching this week. Next one is Tesla. So Tesla, with Tesla has work to do, right? Tesla has work to do. Some of the things that it needs to do is that Tesla needs to find a way to trade above this upsloping trend line zone. If it can trade above it, then Tesla can push. We can see Tesla push into 450 anytime soon if the market is strong and it start put. The thing I like about Tesla is that once it moves, it moves. So here we have this critical support here, which was close to the 200 simple moving average on the daily. So here you have 1, 2, and 3, right? Triple bottom. So I expect to see more moves to the upside here with Tesla coming up. And if you can clear this upsloping trend line and remount it, it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be off to the races, right? So I like Tesla for a move here this week. And if the market is strong, it's going to do well. Okay. And Apple. So we traded Apple successfully in the day trading service, like we traded it multiple times last week, and then it was really, really nice, right? So again, if you want to join us in the day trading service or the swing trading service, this is what to do. So you go to tradingrate.com here. If you want to join the service, you go to courses. So this is our swing alert service. So every week I provide my top 3 tickets, or I've already provided my top 3 tickets for the week to subscribers. So I don't share that on YouTube. If you want to know those top 3 tickets, you want to subscribe and get the information, right? So I provide a detailed video on the game plan for each ticker and then how we plan to trade it. And then when I take the trade with my money during the week, I alert it as well, letting everybody know my entry price, my profit target, my stop loss, everything is detailed, and then you can execute on it. Those that are trained and have gone through our course, they don't need to wait for me. They don't wait for me, right? They know what to do already. They follow the instructions and execute, right? If I alert it, then that's great. They also take it as well. But this here is a service that if you have a busy 9 to 5 or you are busy and you can't day trade, this is a service for you. Last week, we were able to catch SPY puts. When everybody was going long, we positioned ourselves and caught SPY puts, which gave us more than 100% return in 3 days. So we held it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sold off on Thursday, and then once by Friday we have already exited most of the trade. And then we also had another stock. It was an ETF, XLE. That's the energy sector. I told members that energy sector was going to break out, and we saw the breakout move. I'm going to show you guys that one as well. So again, you don't have to guess. I do all the work. I give it to you, and I take it with my money as well. If it works, we all make money, right? If it doesn't work, we have what is called a stop loss, and we take a professional loss, walk away, and rinse and repeat next time. Okay, see what we can do. So here I'm going to put this in the chat. If you want to sign up, this is the best time to do so because the tickets for the week has already been posted in the client portal area, and you want to take advantage of it. Also, if you want to day trade with me, if you want to trade futures options with me, futures and options with me tomorrow, you can join our day trading service. So our day trading service will start with the game plan at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. We talk about how we can make money, and then we all trade it, right? We all trade it together. On Friday, I called NASDAQ long, and I called QQQ long. We all entered in the trade. It was a spectacular trade, right? There was another trade on the Dow when Dow went to the $50,000 level. That one of our members had flagged it, say, okay, the Dow was doing well, and I drew the chart pattern. I said, okay, this is a cup and handle, and then boom, the thing just took off and did wonders on that day. And then on the DIA, it put in like our favorite pattern, which is a pre-market consolidation. That one too did wonders for the option trader. So if you want to day trade with me, this is the service that you want to do. We caught Apple multiple times last week because Apple was one of the only ones that tech stocks that were doing well. The other ones were not really doing well, so we focused on Apple because it was trading divergent to the market. So I put the links here. If you want to join us, you can join us and then trade with us live every day of the week. Okay, so here on this 277, yeah. So here on what is this here? This was Monday, right? Monday there was a move. Tuesday here. Tuesday there was a move to 270. We caught this move. I told members that 270 or 271 was a break wall. So our main goal was to capture this move from wherever it was to that 270 level, take profits, and see if it can give us follow through. Then on that was a day trade, and then on Wednesday we traded Apple as well again. This time we're targeting the 280 level, which is 279. We're able to hit that as well. And then what did he do? It stalled out there, right? So I even said, okay, you can give it room. It can come somewhere here to the 280, exactly at 280. Around that area, it stalled out, right? So this area, this 280 zone, this area here is a critical level for Apple. Okay. So what I've seen happen lately is that anytime the AI stocks are down, Apple is up. Because Apple is the only company that doesn't have any shady deals with this thing. What's the name of that company? OpenAI, right? Apple doesn't have any deals with them, so Apple is doing its own thing. So if we see that the stocks in the AI field are doing well this week, then we might see Apple pull back, right? So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to short Apple. I'm going to look to short Apple if it fails to break above this 280 level, right? Then you're going to get something like you're going to get a move that comes to retest this area and then possibly bounce later, right? So I'm going to get a sizable move to the upside, downside. However, if we clear this 280, I'm going to look to get longs and target this to the upside. So whichever way it goes, I have a plan for it, right? Plan A, plan B, plan C, etc., right? Wherever it goes, we'll have a plan for it. But for now, this is looking like it wants to cool off and it wants to sell this week. We shall see how things work out with Apple. So don't be surprised to see Apple pull back to 271 this week. Okay, so that's one of the shorts I have on my radar. Okay, and last but not the least here is Meta. So Meta had very good earnings. You know, it held this line, this trend line here. I've been talking about this since this is a 2023 trend line. In the last like couple of weeks here, which one was this? Was late January there. I talked about this and it held, and we got that push during the earnings time. Before earnings came, it popped, right? So you see that. Let's take this up. This was a gap, right? And the gap has been filled. So mission accomplished. So now Meta has the freedom to go back up. So if Meta can clear this moving averages congestion here, right, then we can see Meta push up, right, to 711, right? So I like Meta for a long. As long as it can clear this moving averages congestion here, we are going to get that push to the upside. Okay, we are going to get that push to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at here. That's what I'm looking to trade this week if it triggers. Okay, and if for any reason this continues coming down and we break below 647, we are going to look to target and move back down to this trend line. And then depending on what happens here, if this trend line fails to hold, then we are going to get a massive sell to the downside. So based on what happens, I'm looking for a long on Meta. If it triggers, if it doesn't trigger, and the short triggers, whichever one triggers first, we are going to take it. All right. So that's about it for tonight's live stream. I know folks are enjoying Super Bowl and stuff, right? So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to answer the question, or if you have any ticker that you want me to review, I can review it. Just put your comments in the chat so that I can review them. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and like the video. I hope this was insightful. Let me know if you have any questions. Put your questions in the chat. So I'm going to wait here for 1 minute to see if there's any questions. If there are no questions, then I will just wrap up and call it a night. And those that are in our community that trade with me on a daily basis in the day trading service, we are going to trade tomorrow. We're going to trade options and futures. And those in the swing trading service as well. The top 3 tickets for the week has already been uploaded into the portal, so you can watch the video and get ready to rumble tomorrow, right? So before I sign off, if there are no questions, I'll just review the this ticker here, XLE. I talked about it. I said I was going to go through XLE. So XLE was one of the main tickers that we had for last week in the swing trading service. And over here, this is the weekly time frame, and I drew this here as a cup and handle pattern. So I expected this to break out, and we got that breakout. So you see this beautiful green candle to the upside. We saw that breakout. So I expect to see continuation this week. If it can continue, or it can pull back here, come and retrace to the scene of the crime, and then it can push up, right? But if it can break above this level, 53-ish or 54, then we are going to get the push higher. So I believe that the energy sector is going to be one of the best performing sectors this year. And we already have another energy play that I alerted to the swing trading folks, subscribers earlier in the year, before even President Trump and the administration went to invade Venezuela, right? So over here, this was the time here. What was this one? It was here. So in December, late December, I alerted this, and we've been riding this all throughout. So we got entry somewhere here. So we are already up. This is up like, almost, I think it hit 100% at some point. And in the equity, the equity is up by 18%. And there's still more upside to this, right? So in the coming weeks ahead, I believe that this is going to be $50 at some point, and we still have a lot of time on our option. So I believe this is going to do well and push up. Okay. All right. So have a good night, guys. Happy watching Super Bowl, and we shall trade tomorrow. Those that are part of the community. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys again next week. Bye-bye. Bye for now.